The video I'm gonna watch is Zepla compares toxic players in Final Fantasy XIV and WoW.
Okay, so this was a tweet from Llama Todd. He tweeted that apparently on Primal, it is toxic and aggressive to suggest that someone consider using raid food and meld their gear for savage content. It's practice. Now, I haven't read this yet, so I don't know what this is going to say. This is on Primal Data Center. So, someone says, Red Mage, you should consider fully melding in food. Your HP is a tad low. You should consider. So they're being very polite here. Okay.
True.
They say, no.
No. Straight up. No.
He's new and learning. No, says the original person. Purple says, why so toxic?
He thinks
Blue says
that it was
it's
toxic?
not toxic to ask basic level things like raid food. Now, you can see from the background, they are on the first
P1S.
savage fight of the tier. Eric Thaonio's fight. Green says, I don't think that was toxic. Yellow says, this is not being toxic, to be honest. That's one of the basic things about savage raiding. Pink says, he said consider. I think that's a kind suggestion, to be honest. Purple, our hungry person, says it's practice, though.
Nah. Even if it's practice, you still have to eat. And that's something I was asking everyone. Like, everyone I do savages with, I'm like, this is when I was, very new. I was like, should I eat? And they're like, yeah, you should eat. The only thing that you don't have to do, you don't have to pot when you're doing prog. But you always have to eat, and you should always meld. And if you don't know, you can always ask someone and learn from there, or find a video that will teach you how to do it.
Pink says, and wasn't too forced. Blue, when you do endgame stuff, full melds in food.
Yeah.
Purple
That's
says,
exactly what I just said.
You realize that, right? Practice.
It's practice.
Blue says practice makes no difference. Green, let's not dwell. He clearly didn't mean for it to come off as aggressive. Oh, we have a peacemaker here. Purple, well it did.
Green's a peacemaker, yeah.
Pink, no need to fight. Blue, it's not aggressive.
Oh.
Purple, to me it was.
I hate these
Blue,
situations.
Red, can we go, lol? Move on now, okay. I mean, are these all randoms in a party finder? Because this is like an
No, actually looks like two of them are friends. So Purple's the one, the guy with the issue, or basically the guy who's really sensitive. And because he doesn't have melds, or he doesn't have food, no idea why. Maybe he's poor, maybe he doesn't know, and he just says, he's just going off, like, being defensive and saying, this is just practice. Like, maybe a friend or someone in his FC, who knows, told him some idea of, like, you don't need it. Or he just thinks that way. Who knows? But he's very set in stone, and he finds it offensive. And people were being very nice. Like, a lot of people in Final Fantasy are very, very nice. And yeah, this is not a toxic situation at all. Just from reading it. He's just sensitive. But it looks like Purple and Red are friends. Yeah. From what I'm reading here, he goes, no. The Red says he's new and learning. And the Red only comes again over here where he says, can we go? Lol. Laughing about it. Yeah. Red and Purple obviously know each other. Let's see what Zepla says.
incredibly civil discussion, to be honest with you.
This situation's so awkward. I would just
I'm just looking at everybody that was involved in this discussion, and like, from someone that used to play WoW, I'm like, holy shit, we have like 5 different peacemakers in the party.
5? Wait. How many people total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people are talking to each other. 2 people in the party are just watching this shit show happen. That would be me. when stuff like this happens, like it's just better not to say anything. Because in the past, I have like pointed out like people's errors. Like for me, whenever I screw up in a Savage, I say my bad. Like I own up to it. What I hate the most is if like someone kills me and that person who messed up and killed both of us does not own up to their mistakes, because it just looks like I messed up when it wasn't me at all. So I just feel like I wish everyone could. I know that this is not the case for everyone, but I would really like it, and I'm sure it just would help other people also, if everyone would just own up to their mistakes and just be like, my bad, you know. Like it's really reassuring to let the party know that you yourself know what you did wrong too. Sometimes there are those people that be like, what happened? And then you can be like, oh, I don't know why I died, or oh, I died because of this reason, my bad. So yeah, again, it's reassuring to the team that you know why you died and it was just a human error. But yeah, I've been in my fair share of Savages now where I always say like it's my bad, but if other people don't say it's their bad, like over and over again, and they keep messing up, someone will point it out. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's someone else, but I have learned that when I point stuff out and then I mess up, oh boy, people are like so quick to jump and point at my mistake if I have been pointing out other people's mistakes. So like I really do like to be quiet now, but at the same time I do want it to progress, and I want people to know what is going wrong. So I'm in like a love-hate relationship of like, should I say something? Should I not say something? But most of the time I lean towards the side of not saying anything, you know, just because of I explained why I just rather not now. But yeah, just please just say my bad for your errors, and then like parties would go a lot smoother.
You are all like, he didn't mean for it to come off as aggressive. He's new. He's learning. Someone else is like, he said consider. I think that's a kind suggestion, to be honest. It's like, this is not how things work in other
This is hilarious,
dude. It's so crazy.
And you know what?
Like,
it actually is a lot more funnier to watch it go down than to be part of it. Like, see, like Zepla and I can sit here and just look at this and be like, this is funny because this is very classic, and you don't want to be part of this mess, like at all.
So nice. Everybody's so nice. Like, I'm imagining how this discussion would go in WoW. Hey, mage, put on food or we'll kick you. No, they're gone. That's
yeah.
It.
Yeah.
They got kicked.
I mean, I don't play WoW, and I've never have, but I can see that being the case.
Happen. It's crazy to me that, like, I guess I just have a different perspective on this, because this was clipped as an example of like someone being toxic when he's surrounded by super civil people. Nobody's saying, oh well, if you won't eat food, then why don't you eat shit? Because that's probably how this would go in WoW.
No, for real though, because I've played like other video games in the past which are more toxic than Final Fantasy XIV. Sometimes like the little sarcastic comments always spring to my head as instantly toxic, when really it's just people having fun and like saying jokes in Final Fantasy XIV. You know what I mean? It's like those kind of like, was that supposed to be negative or was that really a joke? For me, like all my past experiences with sarcasm in video games have been toxic. So when I see any sarcasm in Final Fantasy XIV, I had to adapt. I had like another Final Fantasy XIV friend tell me like, you know, it might not be. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting, you know, because Final Fantasy XIV does have a really really, really good community. Everyone's really nice. Yeah, you run into a couple of bad people, and for the most part, I do know I have run into a lot of sensitive people because the community is so nice that like one off thing can throw someone off.
So, I mean, look, it's true. It's true. The guy is way, way off base, and he has no idea what he's talking about. Yes, you should consider fully melding and having food when you're going into Savage. Yeah, you should consider
at least they're
it.
letting him know.
Okay, they're not even saying, like, get
I
the
hope he
best
learned
top of the line
his lesson.
food. Get the best top of the line melts. They're not saying that. But, and it's a thing that people often do when they're asked to do anything at all, even in the nicest possible way. You're always gonna have people that get really defensive about it because you told them to do something, and their knee-jerk reaction is to say, "Oh no, don't tell me how to play." Also, the thing is, like, when you're actually in a party and like someone nitpicks you or tells you to do something, I think for some people they don't like that because you're in front of like 6 other people in the party, so it could look a little embarrassing. So they go into this defensive mode, which I think we see clearly here, where he's just like, it's just practice. I'm sure everyone in this party would agree that even if it's just practice or prog, like, you still should have food and have melded gear, because it would help. It would help for your health and for damage against the boss, even if it's just practice. If you want to play Savages, just go ahead and meld your gear. That way you could be like fully ready for it. You don't want to do something like half-assed. Get your gear prepared as much as possible, which means melding and your food. He even admitted, to me it was. When people were like, that wasn't aggressive, he said, to me it was. And I think that's telling. It was actually a little bit of self-reflection there that I didn't expect. He acknowledges that not everybody else thinks that it was aggressive. It's only him. He's realizing he had a wrong reaction to this by saying, to me, only me, this was aggressive. Like, I think he was actually starting to come around. In the end,
and at the end he says, move on now, okay? Like, let's just go.
And move on now, okay? Like, realizing, okay, I'm being kind of a dickhead. I think that's what happened here. So, I'd really, I don't think it's, what did Lamatad say? It's toxic and aggressive to suggest that someone consider using raid food. It's because the person asked.
My opinion, it's completely not toxic at all. It was said really nicely.
Oh, sweet summer child. Is this your first MMO? Did you start with Final Fantasy 14?
No. Not even the question, is this your first MMO? Is this your first video game with social interaction? Because, like, Final Fantasy is really nice compared to other games. And if he's sensitive about that, then oh my goodness. Wait till he plays other games.
This is what you think toxic is. My dear. You have really been, you've been treated extremely kindly by people in this game, if that's your bar for toxicity. Honestly. It sounds like people... The guy wouldn't have survived MW2 lobbies. First online game ever. Yeah, of course. You can't post screenshots like this without blocking the names, okay? If you ever have something stupid happen to you in Party Finder, please do what Lamita did here and block the names first before posting it on Twitter and sending me the link.
That would be bullying.
Please block the names first, but then send me the link, please, because it's hilarious.
And yeah, basically, in a nutshell, to end the video, meld your gear, eat your food, don't half-ass it, just be ready for Savages. And basically that guy knows what to do now after seeing like a few other people tell him And I am going to stick with my advice of if you mess up, just say my bad. That way everyone knows, like, no one will be like pointing fingers at different people. You're just like owning up to your mistake, and it also helps prevent someone leaving the party. Because if you don't say anything, sometimes people just get annoyed and then eventually just leave. Yeah, that's my advice. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!